Louisiana Beer Reviews looks at Saranac Legacy India Pale Ale. Okay, Matt Brewing Company, established in 1888 in Saranac, New York. One of the old-time regional brewers, sort of like Dixie Brewing Company down in New Orleans here, or Jack's Brewing, the Fabacher family, which is no longer around. Dixie's barely around, but in some ways similar to Dixie, and I'll tell you why. 6.5% alcohol. The IBUs, I believe I wrote it down, 60. Yep. Listen to the, I don't know when this particular brand came out, but they use North American two-row and Munich malts. Now the hops: Cluster, Golding, Centennial, Citra, Simcoe, Cascade, Chinook, and more. I don't know what the other ones are. Gets a good score on Beer Advocate, and on Rate Beer, 66 out of 100, 42 out of 100 for the style. So not super high on either, but Beer Advocate saying it's good, it's a B. No, we cannot get this in Louisiana, but Rob from New York sent me this and another Saranac beer, the Darktoberfest. And I got these the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to review them, and I've got some other ones from other people that I need to look at. So I didn't think I would ever get a Saranac beer. In fact, when I was in New York earlier this year, I did not see any Saranac beers, but I was also doing baseball games and other things, so maybe I know I didn't shop hard enough. I could have found it. On the other hand, I did go in quite a few stores in the Bronx and Brooklyn, but maybe this is more of a beer that you might find in Manhattan or in Riverside, the Riverside area of the Bronx. All right. Well, anyway, when I say it's like Dixie, it's family owned. Dixie was started in 1907. This is 1888. But in the 80s, the 1980s, both companies could see that the craft beer thing was starting to catch on, and they figured, let's get into it. So Matt Brewing started coming out with a craft beer line, the Saranac line. They still make their old line beers, what is it, Utica Club and other things, and Dixie still makes Dixie beer. But around the same time, Dixie started doing the Black and Voodoo, Crimson Voodoo. They even did a white chocolate beer, and they just figured, let's get in on this, but not necessarily abandon our original line. Not that the Dixie line was ever extensive. Now the Matt Brewing Company has added quite a bit. They still do the Mississippi Mud, black and tan. Now this is a bottle from 1996. I do have a more recent bottle, but this one here says, and you will see this in Louisiana from time to time, this says Mississippi Brewing Company, Lake Success, New York, and under a special agreement with G. Heileman Brewing of Baltimore, Maryland. So this has gotten traded around, I guess, but it is done by Matt today. All right. So I think Matt could see that things were changing. They were getting into it for the long haul in the craft world. They weren't trying to, be fast buck Freddy, but they figured, you came into this life this way, and that's the way you go out. So I saw one video review, and it was saying it's not too good, and then Lee Poznansky, his beer reviews, he was really bragging on it. So the head didn't stay around. It's kind of medium, now it's thin white. The appearance is golden orange and hazy, like IPAs tend to be. Now, from reading the ABV and the IBU, I'm thinking it might be similar to a Beta Giacomo, another IPA, kind of an old school IPA that people slag on because it's not 102. IBUs and makes you get hop stupid and all that, but whatever. Smells hoppy. Hop oils, little dank, not presenting too many of the negative attributes of the last 5 years from many IPAs, which is the canned store brand pineapple and too much grapefruit or any of that. Or any of the nastiness, like some of the IPAs just have straight up nasty hop bitterness. And I won't name them because I don't want to start controversy, but if you watch some of my videos, you know the ones I was not pleased with. Oh yeah, that's the Kansas City Southern Railroad right there. I was thinking it might be the Canadian National further down toward the river, but it's sugary sweet white bread. Another common attribute of IPAs, especially the East Coast IPAs or South Coast in that case of Abita. Definite noticeable hop bitterness, and not unpleasant, and not off or too, it's not nasty oily, it's just oily hop resin, not too piney, if you want to use that term. It's interesting because it's there, but it doesn't go overboard. It's very mellow, but not dull. The mouth feels medium. The finish is on the dry side, but not too dry. It's pretty drinkable, and the alcohol doesn't seem to, no, it's not seems, it doesn't show itself. So, you say, well, it's just one of these people trying to get in on the game. Yeah, but they've been, in on the game for 30 years, so as long as you believe in miracles, we can get by, but it's not a miracle, it's just it shows you what a company can do when they say, let's do it. So, if you want to talk about companies kind of getting in on the craft beer scene late, like Anheuser-Busch, although yes, I know they always did make specialty beers way back since the first day, so that's not really that fair. But this is a really pleasant thing because I had some bad experiences with IPAs. This is one of the good experiences of the last 5 years, quite good. So I guess Saranac is regarded along the lines of Abita, Boulder Brewing, Full Sail, those type of companies, Magic Hat, like sort of a lower level craft beer company. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that they're not really making like super intense, or if you want to even say garish, beers. They're making them to appeal more to the masses. I don't think that's a detriment or even something negative. Everything doesn't have to be so bold and intense that only a handful of people can enjoy it. So, and do I like the really bold and super intense beers? Yes, I do. Generally. So, yeah, I just don't see anything wrong with this beer. I just don't. I think it's at a minimum an A minus. I guess I'll go on the safe side, be on the safe side and say A minus, the lower end of excellent, just because it's not like ultra terrific fantastic. But on the other hand, I couldn't ever go any lower than A minus, and probably an A minus is lowballing it. So there you go with that. So Le Bon Ton Relais, a really enjoyable beer, well made, with, you know, all upside and no downside. So thank you, Rob. I really appreciate it. I mean, I really appreciate it. So I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans. Play on love.